Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk to you about the latest episode of Star Trek Prodigy. It was called Ghost in the Machine. And as it begins, we find our crew running simulations to see how they could possibly survive leaving the neutral zone without activating the weapon against Starfleet. But none of the simulations end well for them. So they go and have a bunch of ice cream in the cafeteria, I guess, or on the, what would you call it, the mess deck, to try to cheer themselves up. But when they start seeing weird stuff in the halls, they realize they're stuck in the holodeck. They never really left the holodeck. And they find themselves next in one of Zero's programs, in which they're a mystery solver in the Cellar Door Society. So the team decides to solve a mystery presented to them in the hopes that the Arch will appear, as it always done when Zero solves mysteries in their simulations. Just as they're setting out to do this, they discover that Zero's program has merged with Jacob's program, which is a fighting sim, as well as that the safety protocols have been turned off. They realize that the skeleton key they're looking for to solve the mystery is tattooed on a Tellarite there, or at least it seems to be. Once they capture the guy, he disappears and everything goes black and white as a place called the Key Club appears before them. It appears that this club simulation is Murph's, and he takes the stage to perform a number, but they can't tell if he's actually singing or lip syncing. It was kind of funny, actually. At the bar, it turns out that the diviner is the bartender, but it's a different version of him. Zero theorizes that the holodeck isn't just presenting them with random scenarios, that there's a reason behind what it's doing. Rock realizes that the piano is missing a key. So our crew lifts the false key that's there in its place, and that opens a panel in the piano that they can escape through, if that makes sense, because then they're approached by more bad guys that are looking for them. They then find themselves on a pirate ship in doll simulation, but a common theme seems to be Tellarites, which are everywhere. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, they soon find themselves attacked by a sea creature from Rock simulation that just seems to want to hug everyone a lot, but because it's so big, it would actually hurt them. And Rock ends up feeding it to get it to back off, because that's what she does in her program, in which the creature is normal sized and a patient at her Delta Heart Vet Clinic, which is so Rock. Zero deduces that there actually is no skeleton key and that they're just being shunted through different simulations as the holodeck tries to keep them from figuring out why they're trapped. And it turns out that the Janeway hologram was unwittingly turned against the crew somehow and was manipulating them in order to get the command code so that she could send the ship towards the Federation, which the crew doesn't want to do because that would cause harm to the Federation. And they soon find themselves face to face with the Dauntless as the episode ends. So I thought this was yet another good episode. I was glad that they took a break from the Admiral Janeway is chasing them plot and, from the plot of whatever's going on the Dauntless, to focus on the crew having an adventure, which itself was separate from the whole plot where they're running from Janeway. It was a self-contained plot that put them in different environments, which were all very cool. The mystery club, the pirate ship, the sort of 30s era club in black and white, the fighting sim. I thought the characters all had great moments where they got to do cool stuff. I like these characters a lot. Again, the voice talent is fantastic. John Noble turned in yet a different version of the diviner, right? Because we have the evil diviner. We have the diviner whose memory is lost and who's kind of like, oh, I don't remember. He's all vulnerable and messed up. And now we have this version who's just a bartender. Hey, what kind of drink do you want? And what's troubling you? And just a normal dude. So it's just a very cool episode. And again, visually stunning. I think the animation is fantastic on the show. So I thought it was great. I wish they would do more self-contained episodes like this, because that's what they did in the first half of the first season, pretty much. Well, the diviner was chasing them, but like a lot of the episodes it seemed to me, if I'm remembering correctly, to be more self-contained. And the last few episodes, once they resumed the first season, have been sort of chase oriented, and it was getting kind of old. So I really liked this episode. I think it was a good episode. Everything in it was really well done, I thought. So looking forward to the next one. For now, I'm going to get out of here. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.